Question number 1. Differentiate between plumule and radicle. Answer. Plumule is a part of growing embryo which later forms the shoot of young plant. Radicle is the part of growing embryo which later forms the root of young plant. Plumule is positively phototropic and negatively geotropic. That means it grows towards sunlight and away from gravity. Radicle is positively geotropic and negatively phototropic. That means the radicle grows towards gravity and away from sunlight. Question number 2. List any two differences between pollination and fertilization. Answer. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of flower. Fertilization is the fusion of male gamete with female gamete. Pollination is achieved by agents like wind, water, or animals. Fertilization is achieved by the growth of pollen tube so that the male gamete reaches the female germ cells. Pollination leads to fertilization. Fertilization leads to formation of seeds. Pollination is an external process. Fertilization is an internal process. Question number 3. Differentiate between self-pollination and cross-pollination. Answer. Self-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma within the same flower. Cross-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma in another flower. Self-pollination occurs either in the same flower or another flower of the same plant. Cross-pollination occurs between two flowers which are on different plants but are of the same species. Self-pollination occurs in the flowers which are genetically same. Cross-pollination occurs between flowers which are genetically different. Question number 4. Write two differences between binary fission and multiple fission in a tabular form as observed in the cells of the organisms. Answer. Binary fission. In binary fission, one cell splits into two equal halves. In multiple fission, one cell divides into many daughter cells simultaneously. In binary fission, each nuclear division is followed by cytoplasmic division. It can be irregular, longitudinal, or transverse. In multiple fission, nuclear division occurs several times. They move towards the periphery followed by cytoplasmic division. Binary fission generally seen during favorable conditions. For example, many bacteria and protozoa like amoeba, paramecium, and leishmania. Multiple fission generally occurs in unfavorable conditions or in parasitic forms. For example, Plasmodium, the malarial parasite. Question number 5. Write one main difference between asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. Which species is likely to have comparatively better chances of survival? The one reproducing asexually or the one reproducing sexually? Give reason to justify your answer. Here is the answer. Sexual reproduction involves two parents and causes genetic variation. Asexual reproduction involves only one parent and does not cause genetic variation. In sexual reproduction, fertilization and zygote formation is observed. In asexual reproduction, no fertilization or zygote formation is observed. The species having sexual mode of reproduction have better chances of survival because sexual reproduction leads to variations which give better survival advantage to the species over time. Question number 6. List 5 distinguishing features between sexual and asexual types of reproduction in tabular form. Answer. Sexual reproduction involves two parents and causes genetic variation. Asexual reproduction involves only one parent and does not cause genetic variation. In sexual reproduction, fertilization and zygote formation is observed. In asexual reproduction, there is no fertilization or zygote formation is observed. In sexual reproduction, gametes are formed in both males and females. There are no gamete formation in asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Meiosis occurs during sexual reproduction. Meiosis or reduction division does not occur at any stage of asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, genetic variation occurs. In asexual reproduction, genetic variation does not occur. Question number 7. Distinguish between the functions of ovary and testis. Ovary is the primary sex organ in females which produces eggs. Testis is the primary sex organ in males which produces sperms. Ovary also secretes hormones such as estrogen, which imparts female secondary sexual characteristics, and progesterone, which maintains pregnancy. Testis also secretes hormone testosterone, which imparts male secondary sexual characteristics. Ovary remains functional up to 50 years of age. Testis remains functional even more than 70 years of age.
Hope this video is helpful for your preparation. I'll meet you again with another set of questions in the next video.